Welcome in, Yankees family. I'm your guy, Gio. I'm joined every week with my co-host, Tyler. Tyler, how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling all right. We're talking about Yankees. You know how I feel already, but
It's a shit show. Let's just take care of some homework before we get into how bad this Yankee team actually is. First time in the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy Yankees content. Definitely hit that subscribe button and that little bell, dingy dingy ding ding ding, so you can get alerts every time we have a new video up. We are recording this as of August 21st. The Yankees fucking suck. And let's just dive right into it because I don't want to do really any recaps. But spoiler alert, the Yankees lost every game this week.
yeah, I don't think you can do worse than that.
No. Literally, there's no worse than this. Got shut out twice against Atlanta. They're a good team. It is what it is. The only competitive game, honestly, was yesterday. And this team, the last 7 games, have a 192 batting average. They grounded into 9 double plays, 69 strikeouts. I mean, how can you get worse? They're literally one of the worst teams in the league since the All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, and I don't think I'm being like impulsive or being like a knee jerk fan here, but I really think it's time to do like a full rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's going to take 5 years. I think you have the resources and prospects already in the system to kind of jumpstart it. Um, but obviously, what's going on right now isn't working,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like they're insane. They're
Yeah.
literally insane. They keep on trying to do the same exact thing and expect different results. It's literally insanity. Um, yeah, and we've seen over the last week all these guys in the minors are going off.
Mm-hmm.
They're going off, and they're just like, oh, let's just let them stay down there forever, and never give them a bigger challenge because that's when it becomes a real deal. The best players are gonna take a challenge and adapt and become better. If they just keep seeing AAA pitching over and over and the juice ball or whatever's going on down there, it's probably not going to help them.
Nope.
We've seen it time and time again. Frazier, Andujar, and many others are just mismanaged. And just to wrap this part up real quickly, you look at the catcher position, you look at left field. Obviously, not very much coming from either of those positions. Really, nothing's coming from anywhere. But you know, yesterday Austin Wells, a grand slam and a three-run
Mm-hmm.
home run the day before. I think Pereira had 2 home runs yesterday. It's like just give them a chance, man. Like you DFA guys like Willie Calhoun, who was
Mm-hmm.
batting free for like a month, and nobody wants him. The Yankees three hitter, and it's crap. I don't see how Cashman or whoever's running the boat doesn't see something like that.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you. I'm gonna start here. I don't understand how Brian Cashman, or how should I say, is not entertaining the idea that Brian Cashman has to go. There's reports out there. I think we talked about this last week, but I can't. It's unfathomable for me to wrap my head around a owner that apparently, the fan, he doesn't understand why the fans are upset in June. All right, it's fucking August, and the fans are beyond mad. They're ready to fucking storm the stadium on September 22nd and do nothing but yell and chant fire Cashman. And if you guys are going to the game or not going to the game, please get tickets. Please go and show your support. Make your voice heard. Because I've said this a couple times now. Yes, they might not allow you to walk in with signs, but they can't kick everyone out the stadium. They can't. So if everyone is chanting and Hal doesn't fucking understand, that day he's gonna fucking understand that this is unacceptable. We can't keep doing this. This ring around the rosy shit since 2017. Run it back, run it back, run it back, run it back. Dude, we got into the point where we running it back so much that we were counting on Willie Calhoun. We're counting on fucking Jake Bowers, Billy McKinney. You're talking about journeyman. Like, I get it. He's trying to supplement the left-handed bats, but come on, these guys historically don't hit above 220. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no logic behind some of the moves he's starting to make. This shit is comical. It's almost as if like he's almost trying to do everything he can to get fired. He's
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. It's like he's got a multiple choice test and he's got a 0%. He knows the right answer. He's just picking the wrong ones. It's like statistically improbable that he can do this bad.
he's going through a multiple choice test, doing abacadabra A B A D, like just
Something
the
like
whole
that.
time.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, you gotta move up Wells, gotta move up Pereira, and then everybody behind moves up as well. So Dominguez, he's ready for AAA. He's batting like 350 this month.
Mm-hmm.
He had like four doubles yesterday. Uh, I'd want to see Sweeney in AAA, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Ben Rice go up to AAA,
Yep.
and then that means there's room for Jones to go up to AA. Just move the chain along. Stop. Like, what are you waiting for? Um, like, you do this stuff like a month ago. The worst they could have done is what they actually done with better defense, probably, except for maybe catcher. But like, you know, it's like do something.
It's common sense. So, I had a few topics that I just wanted to touch on. The Yankees. I won't beat a dead horse. The Yankees have lost 8 straight games. This is the first time they've done this since August of 1992. The irony of that, the last time this team has had a losing streak this long was August of 1992. I was 4 years old. I don't remember that team. So for me, this is the first time this team has been this bad, right? I've in my lifetime, this team has always been a winning team. Yeah, some seasons they might be in third place, fighting for a wild card spot. They might be in second place, trying to dethrone whoever's in that, who's leading the division, whether that's, Toronto, the Rays, or every like 5 or 6 years, Baltimore gets good like they are now. But they're usually competitive. You can sit there and you can say, you know what, we're going down to the last week in September. We're playing meaningful games. Right now, this is the perfect opportunity. Just like Tyler said, bring up these kids. There's no need to have Billy McKinney here. There's no need for Jake Bowers to continue to be here. There's no need for Franchi Cardero to be on the 40-man roster. There's no need. It's time for the Evans and Pereiras, Estevan Florials. It's time for effort. Bring up Jason Dominguez, man. Bring up Austin Wells. Rort Vet. I was a big proponent of bringing Rort Vet up, but you know what? He's probably having a little bit of a problem with Major League pitching because him and Jake Bowers have the same exact issue. They can't hit the high fastball up in the zone. That to the letters inside, they can't catch up to it because they're too uppercut. So,
Yeah,
you know what? Demote him. He's a great catcher. That's something he needs to work on. And he can work on that in AAA. Bring up Wells. Bring these guys up, man. They hug the prospects too much. I'm at that point now where I don't want to watch 33-year-olds, 34-year-olds that they have nothing to play for. They got their big contracts. They got their money. I want to see some kids that
yeah,
are hungry, that are playing for that 2024 roster spot. You know what I'm saying? They're
yeah.
playing
Just some
for their career.
athleticism, man. Athleticism, some energy, other than like Rizzo laughing on the bench when they're losing like 8-0. This team, it's like comically bad. Like the other team scores 2 runs in the first inning, the game's over.
Yep.
The Yankees get a base hit, and then they like bunt to the pitcher and get into a double play. Like I could stand there in the box, not even swing, and have a better outcome. But it's funny. I see all over Twitter they're like, if Cashman gets fired, Derek Jeter is the most likely replacement. I've seen that a few places.
You are fake news.
That's
I know.
BS. He does not want this job.
It would be funny. The first thing he would do is trade Stanton.
And you know
It's
what?
like-
That's exactly why I want him here, because that's the first move I would make if I was a GM. I don't care how long. That would be hilarious, bro. The first if it does happen, like I don't think Derek Jeter, just to address this, I don't think he wants the job. I don't think he wants to leave Florida. I don't think he wants to leave his wife and his kids and be in and have them in New York. Maybe I could be wrong because the kids are getting older. Blah blah blah. Maybe they'll be okay with living in New York. But in my eyes, I think it's Theo Epstein. That's the only option if you get rid of Brian Cashman. He's done it for the Cubs. He's done it for Boston. If he comes to New York within 2-3 years and wins a World Series, he's an instant Hall of Fame GM, in my opinion. And I think that will be appealing to him. If you market it that way towards him. But Jeter's not coming here, bro. He doesn't want that problem. He wants to be an owner again. He doesn't want to be a GM. He doesn't want to work for Hal. If he does come here, he will blow this shit up. The first week as a GM, you're gonna see everybody fired.
That's what they need.
And that's the thing. I don't think Hal would do it. He doesn't have that stomach to he's one of those people that is just like nothing, you ever worked with anyone that like they've been there for like 27 years and everyone's their friend and everyone's the family and they know how to interact with everybody. And as soon as someone retires, the whole fucking company, everyone is just like, I don't know. That's how he's just like, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know. He won't allow that. That's why Cashman's not going nowhere. And I'd never wish ill on nobody, but I really hope that Cashman gets hit by a car one of these days and he's forced to not be the GM. As fucked up as that sounds, but that's the only way.
Yeah, it's like our boy Derek over at NYY Recaps. He said something like he's hoping for like a meteor to like strike down somewhere.
Yeah, he lives in Norwalk, Connecticut. So, hopefully, neither of us are near Norwalk, Connecticut. So hopefully a meteor strike just hits that exact house.
That's where Cashman lives?
Yeah, he lives in Norwalk.
Oh, wow. I'm just reading here real quick. The Nationals are promoting Dylan Cruz to Double-A already, which is pretty interesting.
He played what, 16 games? Some shit like that?
No, I mean, it's nothing. It's not like the Angels here with that kid they just drafted who's already in the majors.
Yeah, I was trying to be sarcastic. Like the Yankees, these guys have to play like 500 plus games in the minors to even be considered. Not even like they come on the roster. I'm talking about just have a meeting about it. Like it's ridiculous.
My big problem with Cashman is that, and he can't even tear it down because nobody's going to want to make a deal with him because they're going to think that he's trying to screw him over. Like we need like a closer, like a negotiator to come in, somebody who knows how to make a deal and will compromise here and there sometimes. Cashman's so stubborn or something that either that or he just gets shut down by Hal every time. It's those two guys. It's like Beavis and Butthead.
Mm-hmm.
They I don't know, man. I don't even know if they know baseball. Like they're probably pickleball fans or something.
No, they're fucking idiots. Let's jump on to the next topic because this one's actually pretty interesting and I would love to hear your take on it. Okay. Aaron Boone apparently had a closed door meeting with Hal Steinbrenner. And I know Hal was not in fucking New York, so this shit was a Zoom because he's never in fucking New York. But Hal, Brian, and Boone had a closed door conversation. Boone, brought it up himself. He didn't. No one asked him about it, but said the meeting was about, roster construction, flexibility, what can they do, players to bring up. And I just feel like that's bullshit, straight out bullshit. He probably got told, you are the scapegoat. You're the manager that has caused our first collapse in 30 years. And he said, okay, well, if I'm going the fuck out, I'm going to handle this roster the way I want to. No more chat GPT lineups. No more playing people out of fucking position. Bring out outfielders. Why the fuck are we playing infielders in the outfield? so on and so forth. So I think that was probably what he was trying to say, where he drew the line and said, if I'm out, I'm out. Is on my I'm gonna do it my way from now on. What are your thoughts on this whole scenario that has conspired the last couple of days?
Just give me one moment. I'm going to come back with what I think Boone brought into that meeting.
Okay. Uh-oh.
You'll understand. So Boone comes walking in. He got his cookies. I don't have any milk on me right now, but he brought his cookies and his warm glass of milk. He said, "Guys, enough is enough. You know, these guys, they don't love me as much as they did. They're not rubbing my feet after the game. You know, they're they're laughing at me on the dugout. They're making jokes about me. But I think I put this less on Boone than Hal and Cashman
Mm-hmm.
because even if you put my genius in that dugout with these 26 guys, I don't think I truly don't think that like 10 of them do not belong on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, the one that sticks out other than everyone sticking out, like Albert Abreu.
Yeah.
What is the point of this guy? He uh, I'll stop.
Yeah, some I'm
Uh,
telling you,
keep
some
going.
analytical nerd loves his spin rate, and because he has no options. So that's one of the reasons why they keep him here. They've DFA'd him a couple times. He's always found his way back to New York. He has no options. He has no outlet, so they have to keep him on. It's just dumb. And I wanna give you a little kudos because that was fucking awesome with the cookies and the juice boxes because it's probably
Why
hundred
are
percent.
they why are they so goddamn afraid of losing people who nobody wants?
Because Brian
Why?
Cashman has him and his team. They have this idea of the most war on the field possible. Rookies are not going to bring you war, right? Because you don't know what their potential is in the majors.
Ugh.
So they go with this is why I keep saying Brian needs to get away from the veteran first mentality. Like, I get it. You have a somewhat proven product in a guy that's been in the league for 4 years, right? So you kind of can guesstimate what he's going to produce for you on the field. You can't do that with a rookie. But so I get it. I want to touch your point about it being more Hal and Brian than Boone. The only thing I would say is that a real manager, a real manager, would at this point of the season would not still be trying to fucking kiss everyone's ass. You would see like a Dusty Baker sit here and straight say this in the post game shows. This is unacceptable. you know, I get it, like IKF wanting to bunt to move the runner over because that was part of the game plan, right? That was something that they went in, a scouting thing, that he doesn't handle the ball well, the pitcher. I forgot his name. He doesn't, field well. But Dusty would have sat there and said that bunt should have been executed better. There's no reason to pop it up. If that wasn't the pitch to do it on, you wait. Alice Cora would have sat there and said, This play that we're doing right now is unacceptable. The fact that as soon as we go down 2 runs, a run, this bench becomes lifeless. Certain managers I feel like would not be allowing the behavior. And I don't know who said it. There was some beat writer that talked about how Aaron Boone is probably the right manager for when things are going right. Right when this team is winning 100 games, when everyone's healthy, just like the beginning of last season. He's probably the perfect manager because he doesn't disrupt the locker room, right? He allows people to just be themselves, have fun, they do their thing. He is the wrong manager to correct people because he doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to discipline. He doesn't know how to, rally the troops, motivate. He doesn't know how to delegate well. And I'm seeing that. I don't think this Yankee team he's the wrong manager for. I just don't know who is the replacement. And we're gonna get killed in the comments. Yeah, everyone keeps on saying we need to fire Boone, but no one offers replacements. I honestly, that's not my job, right? I don't get fucking paid Brian Cashman money to fucking figure out who the next manager is. All I fucking know is that Boone can't continue to be this manager.
Yeah, I think it was Paul O'Neill said the other day something to the meaning of like when you get losing, you just keep losing, something like that.
You get
So
used
I
to
think
losing.
it can go both ways with Boone. If a team's winning, they're gonna keep winning. Maybe if they're losing, they're gonna keep losing. He's like a momentum guy. But kind of funny note here, I met a couple of kids who play at Greenwich,
Okay.
and apparently one of Boone's sons is their teammates,
Hmm.
and apparently he kind of sucks. So maybe that tells you something about how he teaches baseball.
Yeah, he wasn't a great major leaguer. His highlight of his career was 2003, that knuckleball to take us to the World Series. That
Yeah,
was the peak of his career. And to be honest with you, we probably would have never had Alex Rodriguez if he didn't do nothing stupid like playing fucking basketball in the offseason. This is what I mean. Like decisions like that is what our manager is, who our manager is. Instead of sitting there and be like, hey, I just had a big home run. I'm probably gonna be the third baseman of the future for the New York fucking Yankees. Let me go play a pickup game and tore up my fucking knee. Like it's just stupid decisions like that. I don't know. I'm sticking to my guns where I honestly think that if there is going to be any changes, it's because he's finally going to get fired and he's going to say, you know what, the leash is off. Because Cashman has come out and said, people are not going to get fired if they follow the process, right? He wants a manager that is a yes man. There's a reason why the Yes Network is called the Yes Network because that's all they want. Yes men. You know, Michael K. Yes men. Fucking Aaron Boone. It's a yes man. Michael K is a fucking yes man. It's nothing you can tell me. But you didn't hear the Peter Rosenberg and Michael K back and forth.
I don't think so.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna find that for you. Go ahead, give me your take. I'm gonna find that for you because that has to be. We have to play that because Michael K just kind of effed himself in my eyes. I love Michael K. Always liked him as an announcer, but now I see him in a completely different lens because the way he talked about, you'll hear it, but
Yeah, he's probably like kind of told what to say sometimes, but a lot of times I feel like he kind of has his own take. But I'm just looking at offense stats right now. One thing that really tells you about how this team is doing right now, they're in dead last in at bats. So that means they don't turn over the lineup. They don't get on base. They don't, they don't do anything. They're 29th in hits, last in doubles. I think last in doubles really shows you about this team. They don't like hit the gaps. They don't. It's preposterous.
all right, let me play this for you. I'm gonna get your fresh take,
Fresh take.
fresh, because you say you haven't seen this yet. So I'm gonna mute myself. Let's play it and tell me what you.
Their collapse in the middle of last year
I cannot
happened
hear it.
when DJ LeMahieu got hurt, where he just couldn't hit anymore. That was a big, big factor. And then in the postseason, no LeMahieu, no Benintendi, and they
I
tried
can't
to
hear
rush
it.
back
You can hear
Carpenter,
it?
who also got hurt.
No.
He was carrying the team. Now, they shouldn't be applauded for that because that was
Should
not their
be able to.
plan for Matt Carpenter to be the second best player after Judge. But Matt Carpenter was. Then he hurt his foot, and boom, he's
He looks kind of heated.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold on. I don't know
I actually
why.
met him when I was like 10 years old.
Okay, that's my fault. Maybe let's try this now.
their
Nope.
collapse
Still
in the
no?
middle of last year happened when DJ.
All right. I guess we can't get your reaction on that because I don't know why it's not playing. I don't want to troubleshoot while we're recording. But essentially, the premise of Peter Rosenberg went at him hard, right? He's just like, the Yankees, the best they can achieve in the last 4 years was to get swept by their arch rival, blah blah blah, and they keep getting it wrong, right? They're always getting it wrong. And Michael K is like, how could they get it wrong? Blah 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 blah. Essentially, the whole premise that Michael K said, you sound like a fan. to you sound like a fan. It's just like, wow. So that's how you think of fans. We're just idiots and buffoons that don't understand baseball, right? And it's frustrating for me because Yankee, yes, I get it. We're not a fucking millionaire broadcaster on ESPN, and we're not the fucking voice of the fucking Yankees. But you know what? There are very smart fans out here, and we're not dumb, and not as dumb as every one of you guys make us out to be. So don't I 100% do not like the fact that he just degraded who fans are. It's unacceptable from a guy of his stature at this point of his career.
Yeah, I see. I understand.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send you the clip via Twitter, and you can watch it, and then we can talk about it next week.
All right. Okay, what's the next topic?
Yeah, next topic. Let's talk about. Hold on. What is the next topic? Because now I'm thinking about Michael K. So our 30 straight seasons. With our 30 straight winning season is potentially over this year. The Yankees are now 4 games under 500, 9 games back on the last place wild card, 17 games out of the wild card. Out of the division. Almost mathematically eliminated from the division. What are your thoughts of 30 years of excellence potentially gone under Brian Cashman's watch?
If it takes them losing every single game for the rest of the year for them to do something,
Yeah.
lose. I don't care at this point. Like, what's the point? Just play the goddamn young people. Make some changes. Um, the whole winning season since '93 thing, that's great, but would you rather be like the Red Sox, come in last place one year, win the World Series the next year, and then kind of repeat that cycle 2 or 3 times? Or would you rather be mediocre but make the postseason and get jumped every time? I don't know.
It depends. It depends on your fandom, right? I'm a little older, right? What was the first season you remember watching the New York Yankees? I'm talking about fully understanding. All right, these are the key players. This is the pace of a season. This is 162 games. There's a postseason. Like fully understanding the game. What was your first season?
You're gonna laugh at me.
Okay,
I was 7 in 2009.
7. Okay, so you haven't really seen a World Series.
No, I mean that was when I first got into
Okay.
it.
All right,
But
so
my core memories are probably more like the season after and going forward because I can just remember they're always like the introduction. They're like, "You're reigning World Series champion, New York Yankees, yada yada yada."
yeah.
So like, some of my favorite players other than Jeter were like Curtis Granderson was my guy, Robbie Cano, the usual suspects. But yeah, 2009-ish area.
So that's where the discussion gets screwed a bit because depending on your fandom and depending on when you became a Yankee fan, this is where your opinion differs because and I can see from your eyes where you would prefer I don't care if we finish last this year and then we win the World Series next year because you just want to see a World Series. See, me, I've been a fan and I've been literally watching and understanding baseball since 96, 97. So I have a lot of years of winning in my memory. So for me, this 30 year of a winning winning seasons, 5 World Series championships, what is it, like 20 something World Series appearances out of the 30, 6 pennants, like that lore to the Yankee land, my fandom, it matters to me. Like now, this is the first season that I can honestly say that, yeah, I get it. Like we probably wasn't the best team going into the playoffs the last few years, but at least we're in the dance. Every year I can say at least we're in the playoffs. Now this year I'm starting to be like, all right, now I don't know when's the next time the Yankees will make the playoffs because I don't believe in this this team anymore. Not the players, just the whole team, the whole brand. It's not excellence anymore. It's mediocrity. That's what I'm saying. It depends on your fandom. Like me, it bothers me that this year is ending the way that it is, and for the first time in my life that I can remember, the Yankees gonna have a losing season.
That's the scary part. The part that you said where it's like the management and from top to bottom. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just like one or two players that they can just boot. It's the whole structure. And I enjoy like reading about and hearing about the history,
Yeah.
but at this point, I'm like, that's history, and most of it, like 95% of it, is before 2000 in another century. This is not the same Yankees, obviously. It's a different league, a different environment, and obviously they can't just buy championships because when they do buy, they obviously buy the wrong people. But you know, no Yankees that I know are batting 230 on the season, 29th overall, and it's kind of sad, but I I've seen the problems coming along for a while now, and if it has to come to this to be tangible enough for real change to happen, that's fine by me. Just I always look forward to the future. It's almost bad that like I'm always looking forward to like prospects coming up because they seem to disappoint every time. I think they always call them up when they're in the middle of a cold streak in AAA and expect them to hit better in majors. Not like they don't like ride the wave, but
Yeah.
you know when Gio and Tyler are the co-owners of the Yankees, maybe things will be different.
Yo, I don't even want the job. Yeah, like 100% honest with you, I will love the money. I'm not gonna. Let's not sugarcoat that shit. 100%, I want the money. I don't want the job. Because right now, I'm telling you, I don't know how to fix this team. Like my biggest proponent is you gotta the first thing you do is trade John Carlos Stanton. It's $118 million left on books. You try to get 70-80 million of that. You eat it, but then that hurts me because I'm like, all right, if I'm taking over this team, damn, I have to eat $80 million. So it's like that's where it's just like I just don't want the job because you just have to start eating so much money, and for the next
Yeah,
3 years or so, you're handcuffed because you can't really buy free agents because you have to depend on the kids. And you know how that kind of goes. Like, not every organization is very like the Braves are very fortunate. The Rays are very fortunate. Like the Guardians are fortunate where their player development staff is amazing. The Rays and the Guardians can always produce some pitchers. The offense is maybe a little shaky here and there. But the Braves seem like they can always produce a bat, no matter what. At any year, pick any year in the last 20 years, there's at least one rookie that comes up that's in the talks of rookie of the year. So they have good development. I just don't have that faith with the Yankees, and that's what we're gonna have to depend on the next 2-3 years until we get rid of the Stantons, the DJs, the Rizzos, the hopefully we don't bring back Bader because that'll be another. I'm telling you, that'll be another contract that we're gonna be sitting here dreading down the line. I like IKF. I would love to bring IKF back, but I'm not bringing him back at 10 a year. Um, he's a good $4 million guy. If you can get him for that, 4 for 10, I'm cool with that. He's young, or 4 for 8, whatever, 4 for 6. But yeah, not it's just like I'm at that point. We talked about this last week, but the recipe to develop a successful and young and cheap team is to bring up all the kids, give them this rest of the season, figure out what you got. If you bring up seven out of the top 15 guys you have in your organization, right? Say 3 of them become good. There goes 3 pieces for 2024. Then you build around that. That's when you trade the Stantons, trade the Rizzos, trade the DJs, and figure out what are your next pieces. Your next crop of guys that come up. Then you do it again.
yeah.
2 or 3 guys, then they
You
become new
called
cornerstones.
you called the Braves and the Rays fortunate. I don't really believe in that. I believe actions they took
Mm-hmm.
and hires they made that led to the results. And you also said that you don't know what you do to fix the team. And that's why you just have to completely
Blow it up.
tear it down and blow it up. The there's absolute no reason to go and make a big signing this offseason unless you can make a nice deal with like that guy who's going to get posted from Japan or something. That'd be interesting because he's still young, probably.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to go out and get like a Bellinger or like a re-signed Bader, Mister 80 OPS plus. You're yourself a deeper hole. You got to just restart from the ground up. You got to develop some prospects, man. You got to have some young players on the team, and then you can think about signing. Yeah, like give us the whole year of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Use You can use Wells, Rice, Volpe, Peraza, eventually Sweeney, Dominguez, Pereira. I want to see Florial get a shot, but that's never going to happen.
They're gonna have to. There's because they didn't trade him this offseason. They're gonna have to. They're gonna 100% have to give him a shot this year. No,
Anyways,
next year, should I say?
give him all of 2023 and say you have like 3 outfielders that you're trying out. 2 of them don't work out, and you only have a center fielder, but everything else is solid. Then you can go splurge on Juan Soto or something like that, and then your team is
Set.
good.
That's
Good.
the recipe. That's the rest. That's what the Braves do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They
they
figure it
have
out.
everybody signed for cheap through like 2037, and then they trade for another guy and do the same damn thing. And then say some guys about to price out. For example, Freddie Freeman, who's having an amazing year, but they just redistribute the wealth so well.
Yeah, they went younger.
Maybe they
They were smart. They went
maybe
younger.
they maybe here's your lucky part where they press the right buttons
Mm-hmm.
and the guys actually click what they got. But if you pick up Billy McKinney expecting to beat Juan Soto, you're a dumbass.
And this is the dumb ass Cashman that we have. He just bargain bins because you know what it is, and I get it. It's because he locks himself in these big contracts, and I hope this season, if they, because I know they're not going to get rid of him. I know we're stuck with him. I still say it. Go September 22nd. Make your voice heard. Maybe we can, shift that scale, and we can actually get him out of office. Like fuck it, let's try. What's the worst that's gonna happen? We stuck with this asshole. So please still do that. But if he's not going nowhere, I hope he learns his lesson of okay, we can't do these big contracts for these big free agents, and we do need to take a page out of, the Braves, the Guardians, the Rays. We can't be the Dodgers, right? We can't have all these big contracts or all these superstars. It's just working for them because they bet on the right guys. The Yankees unfortunately bet on all the wrong ones. And we just got to get back to that mindset of, those early 90 Yankees, man. They had kids. They had some veterans, some mix, it's a blend. Now that you have Aaron Judge as a veteran, Garrett Cole is a veteran, Carlos Rodon is a veteran. If you want to keep Glaber, cool. Eventually he'll become one of your veteran pieces as well. I don't even care. I'm fucking indifferent right now about Glaber and Torres. I'm not even going to waste my breath with this guy. But if you want to keep him around for another season or potentially extend him, cool, whatever. But then you have to, just like you said, you have to bring up these outfielders, right? We have no fucking outfield help. Aaron Judge should be playing the outfield. You saw him make an amazing catch the other day. All we need is for this man to re-aggravate that injury and potentially have long-term damage to that ligament. So he shouldn't be out there. He should be playing DH every day, not worrying about making fucking jumping plays at the wall. We should have competent outfielders that can do that for us, and we have them in the minors.
How does that making a jumping play when you're like 5 games under 500 and 0% chance of making the playoffs? How does that help you in the greater scheme of things?
And I get he can't turn that competitor off, So
Yeah.
I get it, but I just don't want. We shouldn't be putting him in that position, where he has to play right field. When he came back, we knew he wasn't healthy. He should have been DHing every day. Like I Judge, we know you're a Gold Glove right fielder. You don't have to prove it to anybody. You know what I'm saying? We know you can do it. Just DH, bro. Just DH every day. If you just bored of DH and you want to go out there once a week, just move around and have a little fun with the fellas, cool. But you shouldn't be making plays like that. We have guys in our depth, in the minor leagues, in AAA, in AA, that can play the position. You know, say what you want to say about Florial. Say what you want to say about Everson Pereira. Say what you want to say about Esteban Florial. I don't know if I said his name already, but I probably did. They are natural outfielders. They got drafted as outfielders. They played every day in the minor leagues as outfielders. They are outfielders. You don't have to play fucking Jake Bowers as a first baseman, Billy McKinney, which is, he got drafted as an outfielder, but he fucking played mostly first base. Like, you don't have to deal with playing people out of position, then wondering why people are taking horrible routes, making errors in the outfield. Our fucking our sprint speed is so low. It's just this team. This team is frustrating. This team would make a sane person go insane.
I'll give you two things real quick. I saw something kind of crazy. It was that the Yankees are so close to the Steve Cohen tax that they don't want to call up the prospects because the extra 5K, 50K or whatever would put them over, and they don't want to do that, which is crazy. And everybody wants them to tank for a high prospect, high draft pick, but apparently they drop down 10 anyways. Um, and another thing, I talked to this one baseball player who was drafted by the Cubs out of I think it was Venezuela or something like that. But anyways, he said in Latin America, that's not even a place. But anyways, he said pretty much that their mindset is that if you can play infield, that you can play outfield because if you can catch a ball in the fly in the infield, you can do the similar route in the outfield. Which they think outfield's easier, but I mean that's probably why the Yankees just draft shortstops. They're like, oh, we can throw him in left field eventually, and he'll be fine. I mean, I played outfield when I played in. Actually, that's not even. I was an outfielder. They didn't let me play the outfield because I just pitched pretty much. But it you got to have a decent eye for tracking the ball. It is a little tricky sometimes when you get running, and the wind's blowing, your body's moving, and the ball's that tiny. You're trying to do a million things at once. But there's certain guys who you can tell they're an outfielder. So let's put some guys who are outfielders in the outfield. Florial, from what I can tell and know, is a
Outfielder.
pretty decent outfielder. And from what I can tell, he's batting 305 with 25 home runs and a 9 something. Give him a shot, man. It's just because we have Bader in center field and McKinney and Bowers, and I don't know what Greg Allen's point is. And I love Cabrera for his personality and stuff, but he's played once a week. This
There is literally 5 or 6 guys that you can easily sit there. Cabrera, he has options. He can immediately go down. Greg Allen, McKinney, Bowers, Frenchy Cordero, and maybe it's only 5. 5 guys.
Workett?
Huh? And Rorfet. There you go. 6. That can easily come off of this 40-man roster, come off of this 26-man, because it's only 5 on the 25, and then a Frenchie will come off the 40. But that's 5 roster spots. There goes Jason Dominguez. There goes Austin Wells. There goes Everson Pereira. There goes Esteban Florial. And then you just work with what you got. And there goes 3 outfielders that can platoon and can help and can play the field. They're fast. That improves our foot speed. Yes, they might hit 200, 220, 230, but what's the difference in our major league talent? They're doing the same exact thing. I rather just see these kids and see what they can do because you never know. That's the thing about prospects. Prospects are like stocks. They can go up or they can go down.
It's a Fugazi.
So we got
Kawasi, it's a Wuzi.
the what?
It's fairy dust. It doesn't
Oh, it
exist.
doesn't exist. That's how the Yankees think of prospects. They don't exist. I wanted to keep this a little shorter than usual. We're not going to do the Aaron Buffoon game. It doesn't make sense. Everything he's done this week has been bad. It hasn't been a win. We talked about everything. We talked about the prospects. We talked about the state of the Yankees. We talked about what we would do, how we feel about this team. Tyler, if you want to take us out, your last thoughts, and then we can wrap up until next week.
I changed my background on my computer to a picture of Oswald Peraza and Oswaldo Cabrera. Just want to open it up and see a nice little smile and maybe a player who might actually play one day. Yeah, but trade him or play him. It's that simple. Like, what are you waiting for? Christmas? Like, it's going to be here. And do something. I mean, they really can't do trades now because obviously the deadline's gone. But this offseason, if there's no major changes, I'm going to be a very upset person.
If they run it back one more year, it's going to get worse. This team is going to get worse. I could honestly see Brian Cashman saying, "This was the injuries. We didn't think Aaron Boone was the right guys to get the most out of our team. We're going to re-sign Bader. We're going to re-sign IKF. We have pitchers that are coming up like Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez that can take the two open spots of Luis Severino, Frankie Montas. We believe in them, and we're going to go and run this back and see how 2024 is." And I will shoot myself.
One little note. I'm going to the game on Wednesday, unfortunately.
Hey.
I don't think I'd ever say that. My cousin invited me, but
Nice.
I'm like, okay, I'll go. But, it's like almost against my will going to a Yankees game. I didn't think I'd ever say that. Severino's pitching that day.
Oh, boy.
I hope he breaks out somehow, but
he's looking better. I think he's making small improvements. He still sucks. Like, he just straight sucks. But I do think he's getting better. He's moving in the right direction. It's unfortunate that it's this late. And he's been that bad. But guys, thank you, Tyler, for a great episode. I appreciate you always coming on every week and giving your amazing takes. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think about the episode. Tell us what you think about the current state of the Yankees. What would you guys do if you were the GM? Leave it in the comments. Until next week, chat. Peace.
See ya.
Aaron Judge.